Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Frederick Wonges, and I'm here with Christopher Matthew Pranata. And welcome to Corporate Crime Watch, where we uncover stories about the dark side of accounting. So, Matthew, do you know what we're gonna be discussed today?
So, tonight we're unraveling the scandal that rocked the business world, which is Tyco scandal. So, let's explore how this multi-billion-dollar corporation fell into scandal. For further explanation, we'll be revealed together with the others. So first, let's uncover who does the fraud.
So, Tyco was a security system company incorporated in the Republic of Ireland with operational headquarters in Princeton, New Jersey. It was composed of two major business segments, which is security solutions and fire protection. But behind this legitimate business facade lurked a web of corruption. So, at the center of scandal were Tyco's top executive, CEO Dennis Kozlowski and Mark Schwartz. These men, entrusted with leading global company, orchestrate a massive financial fraud. They siphoned off $1 million from Tyco for their personal luxury, mansions, extravagant parties, and even a $6,000 shower curtain. Together, Kozlowski and Schwartz betrayed the trust of investors, employees, and customers, making them the masterminds behind this corporate crime.
So, for the next question, what kind of fraud did they do?
The fraud at Tyco International was a complicated scam that showed a clear abuse of power by top executives Dennis Kozlowski and Mark Schwartz. The scandal revolved around three main tactics they used to steal from the company. First, they approved unauthorized bonuses with secret payments that were made to them without proper approval. These millions of dollars in bonuses were transferred into their personal accounts without anyone noticing. Second, they misused the company's money. Instead of using it for business growth, they spent it on personal luxuries like expensive art, luxury homes, and even $6,000 shower curtain. These extravagant purchases were falsely recorded as company expenses. Finally, they manipulated the company's financial records to hide the truth about the theft. By doing this, they made Tyco appear financially held to investors and the public, keeping the stock price high and looking attractive. This wasn't just a single act of fraud, it was a deliberate, widespread abuse of the company's financial system driven by greed and hurting employees, shareholders, and the company's reputation.
When the truth came to light, the consequences were severe. Both Kozlowski and Schwartz faced legal and financial repercussion.
Next, we will move on to what punishment is given to companies that commit fraud, namely in this case, Tyco International, Dennis Kozlowski, who is the former CEO of Tyco International, and Mark Schwartz as the former CFO, were sentenced to 8 years and 4 months in prison, up to a maximum of 25 years in prison in 2005 on charge of grand theft, conspiracy, and falsifying business record. What they do, they were both also must to pay restitution of the same amount as much as $134 million, but CEO Kozlowski have to pay additional fine of $17 million. On the other hand, Tyco International as a company was also punished by the SEC in the form of a fine of $50 million for violating the FCPA, namely that Tyco's subsidiaries also made illegal payment to foreign officials in more than a dozen countries. The Tyco company also settled a class action lawsuit by paying $2,775 billion to shareholders who were harmed by doing fraud of accounting practices. This international Tyco scandal not only resulted in huge financial losses but also damaged the reputation of the Tyco company itself, which ultimately prompted major restructuring in management and corporate governance.
So, for the next question, where did it happen?
Tyco International was officially headquartered in Bermuda, a location often chose for tax benefit, but its operational base was in New Hampshire, USA, where most of fraudulent activities were managed. From this location, Kozlowski and Schwartz manipulated financial records and embezzled company funds, setting the stage for their eventual downfall.
After we talked about where did it happen, so now we're gonna discuss when did it happen.
The fraud at Tyco International began in the late 1990s during a period of rapid expansion fueled by aggressive mergers and acquisitions. CEO Dennis Kozlowski and CFO Mark Schwartz exploited this growth to conceal their illicit activities. By 2002, disparities in financial records and whistleblower reports led to investigations that ultimately exposed their scam, marking the downfall of their carefully constructed visit.
Next to Matthew, why does a company want to make fraud?
So, the main reason that the company did the fraud is the top executives, CEO Dennis Kozlowski and CFO Mark Schwartz, wanted to fulfill their greed and personal gain. Millions of dollars earned didn't go towards a stated purpose. CEO Dennis Kozlowski uses the company's checking account to fund his extravagant lifestyle. He and his wife hired an interior decorator just to buy a shower curtain, costing them $6,000. He also celebrated his wife's birthday party in Italy, costing $2 million and funded with the company's money. Kozlowski and other executives uses the company's funds for purchasing personal luxuries, including buying artwork and real estate. Kozlowski and Schwartz gave themselves bonuses amounting to millions of dollars. Lastly, the top executives also used Tyco's assets for personal uses, such as private jets and limousines for personal travels. All of these transactions were then billed to the company, allowing them to live lavishly at the company's expense. Next question is, how does the policymakers discover the fraud?
The fraud case at Tyco came to light through a series of investigations involving external auditors, the media, and government authorities. Initially, internal employee reports surfaced suspicious unauthorized payment and improper use of company funds. This prompted further investigation, including by the SEC in 1999 until 2000, which looked into Tyco's financial statement, particularly regarding corporate acquisition and the controversial practice of spring loading. This practice, while legal, provided instant benefit to employees through stock option before positive news was released. In Tyco case, the company intentionally underestimated the revenues of acquired companies and then exaggerate the figures after the acquisition was complete, creating the illusion of significant growth. In 2002, external auditors discovered false data and the use of company funds by senior executives for personal interests, such as the purchase of art, luxury homes, and other necessities. The role of the media was also significant in exposing this lavish lifestyle to the public. The SEC investigation strengthened the evidence of fraud and led to lawsuit against CEO Dennis Kozlowski, CFO Mark Schwartz, and former General Counsel Mark Belnick. They were charged with failing to disclose millions of dollars in loans and unauthorized compensation. As a result, the SEC asked for the return of misappropriated funds, and the case triggered major reforms in corporate oversight in the US.
So, are you all curious the reason why we selected this case?
The reason why we select this case is because Tyco spans multiple areas such as misuse of corporate funds and lavish personal expenditures using companies' resources. Unlike many other companies that collapsed after scandals such as Enron, Tyco managed to recover and rebuild under new leadership.
The conclusion we can draw is that in the world of work, codes of ethics and routine assessment must be applied to all the level of the company, so that corruption does not occur in the company. Also, company reports are routinely checked to maintain company security. In the end, this case teaches us an accountant to be observant, vigilant, and have a strong code of ethics.
Fuck!
Apa adanya.